Hi everyone, welcome to another Ubuntu tutorial. In this video, we are going to look at how to delete or remove user accounts on an Ubuntu system. Now, let's switch to the command line. Now, this time, we are going to deal with user 2. Okay, so let's close this. And then let's also close this. All right, and then let's go to the command line. So I'll open a new window here. And then I'll proceed. Okay, so I have my terminal open. So this is the approach 2 for removing user accounts where we use the command line. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so first of all, we need to list our users. So I'll just do this. So let's do this. First of all, we can check the users who are on the system. You can just say cat/etc/pass.wd. So this will list the users we have. Okay. So we have all these users here. Of course, some of the information here, or let's say some of the user accounts here, they are for applications. All right. So those applications, they work in the background behind the scenes. All right. So for, let's say, active users, let's say user 1, user 2, let's say, for example, a user for Michael, a username for Cindy, a username for whichever one. Those ones, they are the actual user account. Those are the ones that are displayed when you check the settings using the graphical user interface. So we have them here. We have tests, we have coach, we have user 2. All right. Of course, there are also ways to extract and guess just the usernames, but that is for another tutorial. All right. So this is how you will list, or this is one of the approaches you can use to list the users. All right. So in this case, let's say you want to remove user 2. All right. Then if you want to remove user 2, let's clear the screen. Let's do it. I will just do something like this here. Okay. I'll just list them again. All right. So we have the user account here. I will try to enlarge it. Let's see. Okay, good. So let's say I want to remove user 2, which is here. All right. Then what I have to do is to use userdel. That is the command for removing user accounts. So I can say userdel, and I will specify the user. So in this case, this is the user account. All right. And then I will execute it. What you should also take note of that for this one too, you need an admin access. All right. So you need to make sure that if you are deleting or removing the user account, you are using an account that has an admin access, or that has admin rights, or that has a root access. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's try this. I'm going to remove user 2. All right. Now, if I say user 2, it tells me permission denied. All right. This is because I need to use a sudo to remove this. And so that means I have to specify sudo. So I'll have to say sudo, and I'll say userdel, and I'll say user 2. Now, with this approach, if you do it, what is going to happen is that Ubuntu will still keep the user files intact. All right. So in case, let's say you want to check those files later on, then there's an approach. So it will just delete the account, the user account itself, but the data that has been in the user's directory, which is also stated here, /home/user2, this directory will be there. So you can still see files that are in that directory. All right. So that is up to you. So there's another way to completely remove all the files, which I'll show now. But now let's test by deleting this account. So if I do this, of course, I'll be asked to enter my password, which I have to do. And then it's gone. Now, if I say cat/etc/passwd, you realize that user is no longer there. user 2. It's no longer there. You can even grep. You can say grep. I'll say grep dash I single quotes user 2, and I'll say slash etc slash. So it will no longer be there because we have deleted it. But when we check that user's home directory, let's say ls/home, we are going to find that it's there. The user's home directory is there because of how we deleted it. We deleted it in such a way that the user directory, the home directory, all right, will still be intact. So this is useful if, let's say, you want to recreate that user account. So when you are recreating, you can just link it to that home directory, that directory. Or let's say you want to remove but still explore the files which have been generated by the user, and then later on delete them yourself. Then there's the approach that you have to use. Okay, now what about if, let's say, you want to completely remove the user accounts, meaning that you delete the accounts and you also delete the home directory? So let's test this with this account. There's an account called tests, which is also here. So this time what we are going to do is to remove this account and also delete all files that have been created by that account in that account home directory. So in that case, what you do is you say user del. Let's use sudo because we need admin rights. So I'll say sudo and I'll say user del, and this time I'll say -r, and then I will specify that username. So in this case, test, like this. So now I'm going to run this, and then this is what comes. All right. Okay, so this message that comes, it says /var/mail/test not found. It's probably because we have used -r, the directory is also deleted. So some information is gone. And so maybe another application that uses this information cannot find the associated directory. So it gives this message. But all that we have to do is to confirm. And then once we restart our computer, we are fine. Okay, so this message here, you can ignore it. All right. So what you want to do is to check the home directory. So you can say ls/home to make sure that that directory is gone. So now the test directory is gone, which is fine. And we can also do a grep -i, I'll say test /etc/this. Okay, so nothing will be displayed. If I also do cat /etc/this, that account will no longer be there. Okay, so this tells us that the user account has been deleted and all associated files, okay, all files in that user account home directory have also been deleted. All right, so this completely remove the user as well as all files in that user's home directory. All right, so that's the user del -r. Okay, so you should be careful when using the -r. Okay, so if you want to play safe, you can just leave the home directory intact and later on decide if you want to remove it or not. Okay, so this is how we remove user accounts in Ubuntu. So we've been looking at two ways, one with the graphical interface and one without the graphical interface, i.e. the terminal. Okay, so for those who want to learn how to create user accounts, you can check this other video right here.